Good morning. Thanks for joining me at Coffee with KORY. I got to start this morning with a little story. So a handful of weeks ago, I met a guy at the gym that I've been going to the most. I had seen him a little bit, but hadn't had occasion to actually introduce myself to him or anything. I was putting on my running shoes that morning. He walked over to get a drink out of the water fountain. And so we made a little small talk, introduced ourselves to each other, and that was it. And in the weeks since, I've seen him there a number of times. I'll give him a little wave or whatever, but we hadn't crossed paths again. Well, this week, one of the days, I get done running on the treadmill, and I'm walking over to the area where there's like some universal weight machines. Yeah, I always try to do a little bit of weight workout so that I'm not just going to the gym to run. I don't know why that makes me feel better about it, but it just does. Anyway, he comes walking through and I'm like, "Hey Wayne, good to see you again." He's like, "Yeah, you bet, good to see you, Cliff." And he must have seen the look on my face because he goes, "Is it Cliff?" And I'm like, "Well, no," I said, "It's KORY," but I'm like, "That's okay." And he goes, "Well, I knew I had the C part right." I'm like, yeah, you bet. Good to see you. We'll see you next time. So I had to chuckle. I'm thinking, well, maybe we need to ramp up the advertising. Nikki, see what we can do to get a little more advertising out there. Either that, or maybe we change these coffee sessions to Coffee with Cliff. That might be better. Anyway, thought that was kind of a humorous story to start our day. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about, I went to a coffee appointment this week, and I was there a little early and overheard some younger folks at the booth behind me talking, and one of them was saying something to the effect, I was trying not to eavesdrop completely, but I heard him say something to the effect of, "Well, of course he's successful. I mean, you know who his family is, right? I mean, he's had every opportunity to be able to do that." And it made me cringe a little bit because there's an element to having opportunities where it's not just opportunities. It's maximizing those opportunities. And if you know me well, or we've had many conversations before, you've heard me say, never apologize for your opportunities. Once again, maximize them. You gotta make the most of it. And it took me to a couple stories of fairly famous people that I want to lay that out with, because I think it kind of helps illustrate that. The first one is a young man that his dad's a professional basketball player, or was a professional basketball player when he was growing up, but he was playing over in Italy. So even though he was born in the United States, they moved to Italy kind of, I think it was for 5 or 6 years, kind of through his formative years. And so, you look at that and you go, okay, well, gosh, the guy's dad's a pro basketball player. He's around the game a lot. Probably not surprising that he turned out to be one of the best players the NBA's ever seen. His name's Kobe Bryant. But further than that is he didn't. Of course, he learned to speak Italian. He's very fluent in Italian. But the guy was able to converse in 5 or 6 languages. I think he was fluent in 3 or 4 by the time it was all said and done. Somewhat famously, he was noted for being able to talk trash to his international opponents in the NBA in their native language. I thought that was pretty cold. That's a pretty good move. And further from that is the fact that, again, maybe it was a scenario where he had more opportunities than some other kids did, but man, did he maximize it through a lot of hard work and then using his brain power as well to learn all these different languages. I'm thinking that guy applied himself to the max, and very impressive. So I think when you look up maximize your opportunities, that guy's probably towards the top of the list. Another guy on the other end of the spectrum that I would mention is when he was growing up, I believe his dad left the home at an early age. They moved around quite a bit. And somewhat famously, his mom says to him when he was 13 years old, "I don't like the look of you. You got to get out of here." and kicked him out of their apartment that they were living in. So for the remainder of his junior high and high school days, he kind of bounced from friend's house to friend's house, sleeping on couches. When he was a senior in high school, one of his buddy's mothers gave him pretty good guidance, got him through high school and into college, where he excelled at basketball. But I look at that and I'm going, he just got such a late start in life. You never, from the documented start of things, it wasn't like he was a big time player coming out of high school even, but he persevered and he got through it and went to Marquette, ended up getting drafted into the NBA and has had a wonderful NBA career. The guy's name is Jimmy Butler. So you look at that and you go, okay, Kobe Bryant had a lot of opportunities as he grew up, but just shot to another stratosphere with them. Jimmy Butler basically had zero growing up other than his health and apparently some good friends, and persevered through all of that, and then also made it pretty close to the top of the same profession. It really, those two stories, in my opinion, are great examples of it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And your success depends upon what's inside. It's not all dependent upon external factors. And if you are afforded opportunities early in life or whenever in life, you don't have to feel bad about it. Feel like, oh my gosh, well, I've got this opportunity, this person doesn't. No. If you have those opportunities, you need to maximize them and get everything that you can out of them. I'm sure I saw this on the back of a t-shirt once, and I don't know if it was attributed to anybody, but the saying was, to give less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. And I think that is just another way of saying maximize your opportunities. You just get out there, and whatever hand you've got dealt to you, you take it and do the very best you can with it. So good life lessons again, and I really hope that you guys take as much from that as I was able to take from it in reflecting on those stories when that incident happened this week, and it just kind of sent me down that rabbit hole. So I really appreciate you joining me, like I always say, and I hope to see you again next week at Coffee with Kory.